Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Whole Foods Market has Thanksgiving gatherings covered. First things first, reserve your no antibiotics ever fresh whole turkey today, starting at $2.99 a pound. Or go with their organic spiral cut bone-in ham, full of seared-in flavor. For sides, choose Whole Foods Market grab-and-go platters. Go even further and get your whole meal catered. Just order online by November 26th. Get Thanksgiving ready at Whole Foods Market. Terms apply.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine, it's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network. You can follow us on our YouTube channel as well, at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined occasionally by my football gurus, Paul and Ian. Let's get to it. What's going on, Ram fans? Mark from Rams Up here. Had a night to sleep on it. Got some additional thoughts on this Rams-Eagles game. I'll get to my recap. Fearsome 4 big plays of the game that the Eagles made. And I have one game ball. Had to give out one game ball. Nothing to get too excited about. This was not a good performance by our Rams. It started out pretty good. Thought we were on to something with that first drive and even our second drive. But that second quarter collapsed by our offense, and then our defense just eventually got hammered by Saquon Barkley. It is what it is. Team needs to regroup. Maybe it's just a reality check for all of us fans who thought this team was pointed in the right direction. A little bump in the road, or is it a complete detour that we're going to have to take? I have no idea. Hope is still alive for the playoffs, but right now it's hard to imagine this team being a serious threat to get to the Super Bowl. I feel silly even saying that at this point, but if they do win their division, they'll be in the dance. Anything can happen, but man, this was not a good performance. And yes, they could very well win this division. I'll talk about that at the end here. Fortunately, they're in a division that no one is dominant. No one is playing lights out football right now. Each of the 4 teams has issues. Everybody's within one game of each other. So yes, the Rams are not dead. The Rams are not out of it. But next Sunday's game at New Orleans looms very large as far as their prospects in 2024. Let's get through this game possession by possession, more or less anyways. Not going to dwell on some of this. It's just something we want to put in our rearview mirror as quickly as possible, but I'll try to highlight the important stuff. Rams got the ball first and actually put together a very nice drive. But then Kyren fumbled at the Eagles' 17-yard line, and the announcers pointed out that the Eagles turned around and put 3 points on the board, points off of turnover. That's just a little bit of the story here. It really took points off the board for the Rams, at least 3, potentially 7. So another bad moment for Kyren Williams in a critical situation. But the Eagles did turn around, push it downfield, and settled for the field goal. A little bit of bend, don't break going on for the Rams there, but they hold up. So you got to call that a win. They're down 3-0, and they turn around and drive down the field again. And this time, beneficiaries of a questionable pass interference in the end zone, and Demarcus Robinson scores. Kyren with a 1-yard touchdown run. Rams are up 7-3. Next possession for the Eagles. Eagles facing a 3rd and 6. Braden Fisk comes up with a sack, and the Rams get the ball back. And one of 3 second quarter possessions by the Rams, all of them ending in a punt, 3 and out. But the Rams defense at this point still playing pretty well. Hurts had a big scramble on the next possession. A.J. Brown had a 27-yard reception, but once again, the Rams force a field goal, but they're still up 7-6 midway through the second quarter. Rams another 3 and out, and the Eagles finally put together a touchdown drive inside the 2-minute warning. Hurts runs for a first down, and then A.J. Brown with the reception. That was the one that was initially called incomplete. Quentin Lake poking it away as he goes out of bounds, but they review it and award the touchdown. And it's 13-7 Eagles, the Rams' final possession, another 3 and out. And we go to the half with that score, Rams down 13-7. Now coming into the second half, Rams are already down 6 points. And, it's pretty evident Rams need to stop real badly, give the ball back to their offense so they can get back on track. And then the first play from scrimmage, Saquon Barkley, 70 yards for the touchdown. And they're up 20-7. Rams answered. At this point, they're keeping it interesting. 8 plays, 68 yards, culminating in a Demarcus Robinson touchdown. This was the drive that Stafford had that beautiful dart to Puka Nacua on the sideline there. So it's 20-14. But the Eagles' second drive, they go 70 yards. Took them more than one play at least this time, but it still ends with a Gainwell touchdown, and they're back up 13. Rams tried to hang in there. Their next drive, 4th and 1 completion to Puka for 30 yards. They're facing a 4th and 3 in Eagle territory, and this is the moment where there is a penalty on the Eagles. Rams declined it. We're going to go for it on 4th and 3, and apparently they allowed Nick Sirianni to change his mind, pushed it back to 3rd and 13, and that eventually led to a missed 47-yard field goal by Joshua Carty. So the Rams had a chance to make it a 10-point game, but they did not. Not a lot good happened after that. Another big run by Saquon Barkley. This one longer than the first one, 72 yards, and this game is pretty much over, 30-14. Rams drive for a garbage time touchdown. Cooper Kupp doing the honors. Rams go for 2, trying to get within 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, but they fail, and that's the final score. Eagles 37, Rams 20. So after going through all of that, you want me to identify the fearsome 4 big plays of the game. Let's focus on the 4 big plays that went in the Eagles' favor, and I'm not sure the Rams would have won if these didn't go the Eagles' way, but you know what they are. You can say it with me. Kyron's fumble on that first possession takes 3 or possibly 7 points off the board for the Rams. The missed field goal, another 3 points flushed down the toilet. And then the 2 runs by Saquon, a 70-yard run and another 72-yard run, the one that really put the game out of reach. Those are my fearsome 4 big plays of the game. Kind of obvious. And you could probably throw in A.J. Brown's touchdown late in the first half. Those are always especially painful. Your defense plays pretty well, relatively well anyways, and then they give up a touchdown late in the half. I felt that might have been a bit of a turning point as well. There's really just a key number you got to focus on here. Saquon Barkley, 255 yards. That's right, a 9.8 average on the strength of a 72-yard run and a 70-yard run. That pretty much sealed the fate of our Rams on Sunday night.
Looking for a pickup truck to get just about anything done? Look no further. The Chevy Silverado EV isn't just the most powerful Silverado ever, with next-level towing capability and technology. It also offers game-changing versatility with the available multi-flex midgate and tailgate, which means Silverado EV helps you carry large, bulky, and oddly shaped items up to nearly 11 feet in length. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Visit Chevrolet.com to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. There's plenty to be thankful for. Your friends, family, and the fact that you can now get NFL Sunday Ticket for only $89. So thank yourself this holiday season and watch every game every Sunday when you bundle NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up now at youtube.com/Sunday Ticket. Offer ends December 2nd. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
With Uber Reserve, good things come to those who plan ahead. Family vacay? Reserve your ride as soon as you book your flights. To all the planners, now you can reserve your Uber ride up to 90 days in advance. See Uber app for details.
Go through some key stats here, some very telling stats. The Eagles had the ball over 7 minutes more than the Rams. The Rams had 23 first downs to the Eagles' 24. Of course, when you're running 70 yards for a touchdown, you're not picking up first downs, are you? The Rams were 0 for 8 on third down, but 3 for 3 on fourth down. Eagles piled up 481 total yards to the Rams' 290. Eagles over 7 yards per play. The Eagles finished with 314 yards on the ground. Now that's as ugly a number as you will find in a Rams game, I think. Enough about the Eagles stats. Check in on some Rams top performers, dare I say. Stafford, 24 for 36 for 243 yards and 2 TDs. Matthew Stafford was not the problem in this game. He actually played well, made some excellent passes. Pretty much mistake-free. Sacked 5 times, though. Kyron Williams had a decent day. 16 rushes for 72 yards, a 4.5 average, 1 TD, 2 fumbles, one of them lost. Blake Corum, only 1 carry. Now, I don't understand that, especially in a game like this. In the fourth quarter, after Kyron's 2 fumbles, get Blake in there. Let's see what he has. Puka Nacua, another very productive day. 9 catches for 117 yards. Cooper Kupp, 8 for 60. Tutu Atwell, 3 for 30. Demarcus Robinson, 2 for 15. Tyler Johnson, 1 for 11. Our tight ends, 1 catch for 10 yards. That was Colby Parkinson. Finished it real physical, but still very little production out of our tight ends. On the defensive side, our linebackers combined for 19 tackles total, I think it is. Roseboom, 7 plus 5 assists. Spates, 4 plus 3 assists. We just had the 1 sack from Braden Fisk. If there's one area the Rams defense did succeed, it was limiting Dallas Goedert. He just had 4 catches for 19 yards. Now, one of the things that surprised me in this game was the ability of the Eagles to bring pressure. Their pressure rate was fairly mediocre going into this game. They do get the sacks, but they don't sustain pressure typically. But in this game they did, and it did appear that our offensive line struggled, which, again, really surprised me after they had played so well against the Patriots. Now, I'm still waiting for what Paul and Ian have to say on the subject, but Pro Football Focus has chimed in, and it's not good. Alaric Jackson had a good day, high 60s, low 70s, pass and run blocking respectively. Steve Avila, 20.2 pass blocking grade, not good, perhaps the worst performance of his career. And Bo Limmer, even Bo Limmer, 28.6 in pass blocking. Kevin Dotson was solid, high 80s, low 80s, respectively, pass and run blocking. And Warren McClendon, a little weak in the pass blocking, 48.2. We saw him get burned a couple of times, but his run blocking was solid, 77.5. So the big surprise there, the 2 numbers that really stand out, Steve Avila and Bo Limmer, poor pass blocking grades. Do I have anything to say about the referees? I think they were off in this Sunday night game, and not necessarily in favor of the Rams. Not blaming the refs for this loss, not at all. I talked about it on my post-game reaction. Refs had a bad night. They had 2 calls that went in favor of the Rams that were very questionable. One, the first pass interference, definitely. Imagine if that call went against our team, we would be livid. And that scenario where they allowed the Eagles to change their mind, I think that's what happened. Them deciding to accept the penalty after the Rams had already lined up to run a play. Pretty odd. The announcers are fine, no problem with Chris Collinsworth. He kind of goes with the flow. He'll jump on the bandwagon of the team that's playing well, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with him celebrating the Eagles. He gave the Rams a lot of kudos early in the game when they deserved it. As far as the coaching goes, it looks like the Rams had a really good offensive game plan, but then something happened in the second quarter. I don't know if it was the play calling, if the Eagles adjusted. We'll see what Ian and Paul have to say about that, but second quarter production was just pitiful. And then on the defensive side, again, not sure what the thought process was. Maybe it was just the Rams linebackers and defensive linemen not executing. The Rams safeties allowing Saquon Barkley to gallop for 70 yards twice. But combination of game plan and execution would be my guess. But you got to put a little bit on the coaching on the defensive side of our team for sure. And again, Rams needed to get some subs in at the end there. Imagine if Puka had taken another hit on his shoulder in the waning moments there as we get ready to head to New Orleans for what really is a must-win game at this point. Pull those guys. Let's see Jordan Whittington and Xavier Smith get some action. And Blake Corum, of course. Even the backup quarterback. What are we doing? Running those guys out there in the closing minutes for really was a meaningless touchdown. I guess there was a glimmer of hope, but come on. Rams were not going to win this game. Now, do I have any game balls to hand out? Not really. Well, I did identify one guy, and, I had said before this game that special teams were going to make a difference here, and they made a difference in a negative way. Ethan Evans had a really bad punt. Joshua Carty missed another very makeable field goal. But Xavier Smith actually had a good day. 2 kickoff returns for a total of 62 yards and a punt return for 11 yards. And that's it. That's all I got for you. There are probably some guys on defense that actually played well, but I did not see it real time. Hey, Braden Fisk, that spin move in the sack was pretty sweet. And Puka had a big game, played his heart out, but he's getting into that territory where, just give him a game ball every game. So where does that leave our Rams? Well, I'll be posting another Path to the Playoffs video later this week, included in a podcast as well. Not going to go into deep detail here, but obviously they're in third place right now with a 5-6 record, but only one game behind the Seahawks, who they have beaten, and the Cardinals, who they have lost to. So if you look ahead to these next 2 weeks, the Rams get the Saints and Bills. Man, they have to beat the Saints, because they're not going to beat the Bills based on what we saw against the Eagles. So that would get them to 6-7. Cardinals, meanwhile, Vikings, and then the Seahawks again. Seahawks get the Jets and Cards, the 49ers, the Bills, and the Bears. So I'm not going to get into the entire remaining schedule, but it is entirely possible that the Rams can right their ship, at least somewhat, and get to the playoffs by winning this division. But it is imperative that they beat the Saints. If they can't beat the Saints, they're going to have to beat the Bills to make up the difference, basically. It's just too tight. Anything's possible at this point, but man, beat the Saints. Has to happen. That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.